What screams, I have low self-esteem. Thinking that everything bad someone tells you is true, but the second someone compliments you, you just can't seem to accept it. Wait, somebody actually likes me and thinks I'm attractive? Okay, but what's wrong with them? Looking at all the replies hoping they don't apply to you. I mean, this one applies to me. Thinking that every time someone laughs it's because they're laughing at you or making fun of you. My worst nightmare. Walking past a group of teens and they start laughing. Being excessively concerned with how others perceive you. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Marcus Aurelius. Apologizing for talking. Apologizing for not talking. Apologizing for apologizing. Apologizing for being alive. Edit. I'm begging you to stop with the Canada jokes. Sorry. Someone who talks themselves down a lot. It's a way for them to protect themselves from the insults of others. Ironically, people who talk others down too. Lying about their lives. There is nothing more sad than catching a person lying about their life, finances, romantic relationships, etc., just to get attention and validation. Had a guy in my Discord who said one time when he was a child he was hiking through South America and wandered into a cocaine field and some people kidnapped him and cut off a toe, and held him for ransom. He was very well known for lying. He ended up leaving because some of us dared to have a different opinion than him. It's interesting how the answers in this thread are very polarized. Some insecure people turn outward and project confidence or meanness, while others turn inward and self-doubt, apologize for their existence. Both are insecure, but they display in completely different ways. Insecure and an asshole versus insecure and not an asshole. Putting down others' hobbies because you are insecure about yours, don't have any. I cross-stitch, and some of my pieces are very intricate and take a long time. I am really proud of them, and the focus it takes to complete them. I had a date tell me that cross-stitch was the most useless hobby he had ever heard of, and I was just flabbergasted. First off, why do hobbies have to be useful? Secondly, it provides me with entertainment for a long time, and it then serves as decoration. But even without all that, if I enjoy it, why try and take that away from me? Douchebag. Edit. Thanks for all the support, people. By popular demand, I posted my latest project over on r cross-stitch. Excessive apologizing. Well, crap, I do that. Constantly assuming other people are looking at you, judging you, making comments about you, etc. Believing that other people are overly fixated on you or your life, I think, is a huge sign that your self-esteem is low. Most other people, especially strangers, don't really go out of their way to obsess over a stranger. And if you're constantly trying to read malice into a random person's subtle actions, you probably are too concerned with how you're being perceived to the point of imagining negative attention where none exists. For anyone wondering, I can confirm that the only reasons I stare at people walking by is either 1. Me daydreaming and not realizing that I am staring, 2. Me thinking that you have great hair, a great beard, a great jacket, etc. TL. Doctor, if I would hate you I wouldn't be looking at you. Never admitting not being knowledgeable of a topic. This one is so ridiculous too, because the world of knowledge is insanely massive. People who brag about themselves all the time. So damn insecure and trying to tell people how to see them. I know someone like this. She's always bragging about how everyone loves her, but the second I get a compliment she's quick to get all eyes and ears on her again. I'm just now realizing this too. I used to look up to her a lot. But now I just feel bad for her. BC, she needs so much validation. Somebody who apologizes frequently, even for things that aren't their fault. I've apologized to inanimate objects before. I apologized to a chair once. **** needing a lot of reassurance for basic things. ***. In my last job, the constant stress of the position, lack of support, was causing me to question every element of my job, even the simplest stuff. ***, getting angry when they're wrong. ***. Clearly their brain is going through a lot of paces to convince themselves that they're smart, capable, what have you. When they're shown to be wrong about anything, it's like a rug is pulled from them. Mind you, this isn't just mild annoyance. Constantly shit-talking other people. The cheapest way to gain self-worth is through juxtaposition. I.e., let me shit-talk someone else to make myself feel better. Unfortunately, these gains are short-lived, so they need to keep shit-talking other people to keep feeling okay. Bonus points if the shit-talking is hypocritical. Watch out specifically for people who seem like they're looking for a reason to complain about other people. I think that just added to my list of things to work on. Over-clarifying. So, Saturday night. I guess it was really Sunday morning. The sun wasn't up or anything, but it was after midnight. People who grow up with lots of criticism and invalidation usually lack self-esteem. They often feel like they have to be super specific to avoid more criticism or accusations of lying. A complete inability to admit wrongdoing. A person like that isn't super confident. Their ego is so fragile that they can't handle the possibility of having been in error. Also a sign of narcissism. Trying to one-up in conversations. You think that's bad. What about when someone steals your story and tells it to your friends as if it happened to them? What do you mean? Why are you asking? Has anyone said something about me? Is it because I gained weight? Did Steve tell you that, perchance? Steve? What the hell kind of rapping name is Steve anyway? AskReddit. Wait, what? I laughed at a Reddit comment. My parrot, after years of training. When someone fishes for compliments or constantly finds ways to get others to compliment you. People with a healthy level of self-esteem don't do this and don't have to seek out affirmation. When they write her off for the 10th time but still end up taking her back and making her dessert. She came over, they lost their nerve? Apologizing and clarifying every time you say something you think may possibly have been misinterpreted in a way which could maybe cause someone to feel offended. By all means correct yourself when you word something stupidly, but at some point you have to have confidence that reasonable people will understand what you're saying. Okay, I'm guilty of this one, but only because I have autism and can't communicate effectively at all because of it. I constantly get screamed at, threatened or worse for saying things that get interpreted wrong and I have no idea how to fix it. Assuming that you're always on the cusp of annoying everyone you're with or that you're never actually part of the group and only invited out of pity. Always apologizing when there is no need to. Sorry about that. I am fairly tall for a girl, so every time a guy denies I am taller than him, I already know he has a low self-esteem. It's funny, I'm a guy and super insecure in just about every way, but tall girls are attractive and I don't know why I'd try to pretend I'm taller than I am when I was with one. The people that inflate their ego way out of proportion, either are actually just egotistical, or have extremely low self-esteem. Having a loud-ass truck that belches out black smoke 24/7. Talking about alphas, betas and how very alpha they are. Just, cryanja, no. Saying you wish you had someone's features. I am pretty sure everyone's done it, but once you keep doing it I feel like it becomes a problem. Give me your eyes. I need them. It doesn't matter your gender, but if you don't have the balls to say, no. It's a shame that one gender is often ignored when they say no. Constantly needing reassurance that your spouse loves you still. Feeling super insecure in the relationship, even after being together through thick and thin for 30 years. Breaks my heart. In fairness, with the propensity of cheating and divorce, and having gone through it, you might need periodic reminders that your spouse still loves you. Labeling anyone with the slightest bit of constructive criticism or differing opinion a hater. I hate that word. So you're a hater of the word hater. Instagram influencers that have made it their life's mission to empower others. I always think there's something a bit off about people whose stated motivation for social media posts and YouTube videos is to inspire others. You can't categorize yourself as inspirational. That's not how it works. That's something other people tell you. Planning to live alone for the rest of your life because you think everyone hates you, but also thinking you won't be able to because you think you won't be good enough to get a job. People who are always trying to one-up other people. Self-deprecating humor. Even if it's well executed, I can't help but feel that it's 100% real insecurities and ultimately it's a way to fake confidence. I think this is a 50-50. Sometimes I do make jokes at myself and it is an insecurity, but most of the time I just state things that are pretty true and that I am okay with. Constantly needing attention and validation from others. Being unable to be happy alone. The inability to accept fault and hold themselves accountable. Not being able to speak looking at other people's face or eyes. Something I say by experience. You just start to think they may judge you, or may notice that pimple, or how bad you have your hair in that moment, or your nose form. It's like if I don't see their faces they won't see my defects. I don't know if I explained myself well. I am such a fucking idiot. Damn, why do I say that? I'm such a fucking idiot. This has the potential to be a controversial suggestion, but laughing at the end of every sentence. I didn't believe it at first, as it was something I did myself, and I truly believed that I was just doing it to be friendly. The more I looked into it though, the more apparent it became that I was nervous all the time. After some self-reflection I realized that it's fine to end a conversation simply and bluntly if I've got things to do. Before I would have hung around trying to make small talk and jokes. No, I actually agree with this. I have an extremely bad habit of laughing after almost every sentence I say to people I don't know without realizing it. I thought of it as being friendly too at first, but it really just means I'm nervous like you. If I'm talking to someone I'm comfortable with, it's nowhere to be seen. I've been trying my best to stop, but it's proving to be a bit difficult. Less than putting those fake balls on the backside of your truck. Being nervous when someone slightly disagrees with you. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, at the start of every message. Shit. Poor personal hygiene. It's a very common symptom of depression and low self-worth. Of course it can come from extenuating life circumstances, but it's definitely a good reason to check in with someone. People who constantly nitpick others. Letting other people deeply affect your choices and directions in life. Someone who makes a valid, well-constructed point in the conversation but ends it with something like, "If that makes sense, I'm not sure but yeah. Ouch, you shouldn't talk about me behind my back like that, you know." Someone who often jokes about themselves a lot. I know this from experience. I have a friend group and most of us don't have much self-esteem, especially me. I have social anxiety and have always struggled with low self-esteem. You often make yourself the butt of the joke and often make comedic comments about yourself. I often say those things because I don't have much confidence or view myself very highly. We often cover up our low viewing of ourselves with silly jokes. We bring ourselves down without realizing it and it breaks us slowly. I am afraid to say I still do this a lot, but in a way it takes my mind off of how much I seriously don't like myself. If you have a friend or you yourself joke around about yourself a lot or on a daily basis, that's a sign of low self-esteem. If you find yourself saying how much you're not really useful or deeply worrying about how you feel about yourself as a person and stressing about how other people think of you, reflecting onto how you think about yourself, then you might want to consider that you have severe low self-esteem. This is something to think of because it can often result in depression, as it did with me. If you do, please take a depression, social anxiety, or suicidal test. Depending on your results, I recommend seeing a psychiatrist. I'm doing much better and I don't exactly have depression anymore. I'm currently taking meds and going to therapy. It was hard to reach out, but it's okay to. It doesn't make you weak and you are amazing for reaching out. Live your best life and love others. Thank you. Edit. Whoa, didn't think this would blow up at all. Thank you so much and please look out for the signs. Have a great day and God bless. People who constantly gossip or talk shit about people behind their backs. I'm interested as to why this question is being asked. Usually people with low self-esteem have a history of trauma and/or abuse, and instead of getting angry at these people, and targeting them, and treating them like shit, it might be better to try and help them. Just a thought. Wow, for once a comment that actually brings something new to the table. I think there are very few answers in this thread that I am not guilty of sometimes. I guess I must have low self-esteem. People who tell me they smoke weed or do drugs when I never asked, and it's irrelevant to the discussion. I kinda hate how so many people here talk so negatively about people with low self-esteem like the person actually wants to have low self-esteem. I suffer with it pretty badly, obviously with this comment, and I'd love more than anything to not feel this way. It hinders everything in my life. Someone screaming, "I have low self-esteem." Checking the answers in this thread to see if you have low self-esteem. My reflection. Alien looking, overdone and extreme cosmetic surgeries, procedures. Making social justice a large and open part of their identity. Now there's nothing wrong with caring about social justice issues. And there is nothing wrong about being insecure. But those people who make those things a core part of their identity, and go around condemning others for social transgressions? I've never met someone like that who actually likes themselves. They are often outwardly proud of being different, and loudly so, but in private, when no one else is watching, they don't like what they see in the mirror, and they feel powerless to change that. All the politics is just compensating. Not that the issues aren't valid, or that their position is wrong. But the people getting legitimately mad about this stuff, they just need real, genuine empathy, not identity wars. Get so annoyed by this because anyone actually invested in these social justice issues usually try and explain things or convince people with evidence-backed arguments, whereas others are just literally looking for a reason to shit on other people for things they may not even be aware of and usually don't know much about the issues themselves. Hypersensitive, overreacting to any criticism. Insults and criticism aren't fun for anyone, and it's not a sign of poor self-esteem to not enjoy that. But the people who feel the need to go to extremes and get way too emotional in order to defend themselves over minor slights do so because their sense of themselves is very fragile.
Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.